Twitch in a moment, and then we're going to be live on the YouTube in another moment, which means that then I can, if I can say this stuff. Okay, incredible. We're live. Welcome, everyone, people watching all around the world, worldwide stream, to another silly little stream game. And by silly, I mean it's not going to be silly at all. These stream games, and it's just these stream games are a part of the big Living World anthology stuff that I do. Most of them are, the purpose of them is to fill in little gaps of story that I don't get to otherwise cover. I try to run these games as regular games. I don't try to fluff anything up for the most part. So you get an honest, real experience of what these silly little games are. We're for this game in particular, is going to be a different-ish cast every episode. So these are people for this episode, but for reasons that you'll get at some point, you'll understand why that might change. So without further ado, let's quickly go around and just say who we are as players, not characters, and we'll introduce your characters when they come up in session. So starting at the top corner, it's Kate.
Hey, I'm Kate. I've been playing with Jesse for 3 years now, 2 or 3,
I think you probably started in like June
2022.
Yeah.
Yeah, something. Uh, I'm probably gonna cry. No promises.
Fun fact about Kate and this character. This character was made to die in this game. And then the game never finished. And we did two sort of prequel type things in which Kate got to have loads and loads of experiences. And now we're returning to this game, maybe to kill Kate's character. Who
I
knows?
got super connected to this
Super
character.
connected.
Yeah, it's fine.
Speaking of super connected, Mike.
Yeah, I'm Mike. I've been playing with Jesse for a couple years now.
Hell yeah. 2 years in like December, right?
Yeah, in December, yeah.
Yeah. Matt.
I'm Matthew. I've been playing with Jesse about like 2 years, 2.5 years,
I feel like 3 years.
and I'm here to make Kate cry.
And Andy.
Hi, my name is Andy, and I've been playing with Jesse. Actually, yeah, 3 years. This month is 3 years, with Jesse, and my character was made a while ago. Also meant to die, and then he survived his campaign, and then we never played him again. So it's time to kill him.
So the last little bit of context, as Kate and Andy talk about the characters, these were originally the premise for this campaign was originally a handful of horror anthologies, from the same mission, where each group would like learn a little bit, record a couple of logs, and then I would post those logs. And send them on to the next group to figure out, like, okay, now we know more stuff. I put all those logs together, I edited those logs together in a fun little thing, and put it on YouTube. I was thinking of playing it at the start of this session, but it is 10 minutes. And I'm not sure how helpful it is when you lack all of the context. So we're just going to presume if you want to learn more, you can go check that out later. We see futuristic interior. Very sci-fi feeling. Although in this world, there is no such science. Everything is magic. But this magic, this combination of advancement, expresses itself in a way that we would think of as sci-fi-like. We see a hallway of cells, holding cells, kind, not meant to imbue discomfort into those within. In those cells, we see a handful of confused, some impatient characters who were not expecting to be captives of the Misathian extraplanar force on this day. In fact, this is quite a stretch of usual MEF protocol. At the end of this hallway, where the door to the exterior hall and the rest of the ship is, we see Andy's character. If you could describe what he looks like, both physically and then like how he's feeling emotionally and how that is expressing in this moment.
Yeah, so Arthur is a 21-year-old half orc. So he has, kind of a tint of half orc coloring, which in Jesse's world isn't always green. I think it's purple.
There's a bunch
or-
of different.
I forgot
the
exactly.
Misathians are like midnight black, so I think you ended up being gray.
Yeah, because he wasn't technically Misathian. But yeah, so it's a little tiny shade of gray in there with the human. He normally is like a put together nerd looking uh guy, but I think in this moment he's probably hair crazy tousled, glasses are probably not well on his face. He's looks like he hasn't slept in a while. I don't know if he even had rest between the last time I saw him. Um, he's not particularly tall for who he is, probably an average height, 5'8" or whatever. Um, and if I am not mistaken, he's kind of frantically upset that they brought uh Onyx into the ship at all. My headset just turned off, so I can't hear anything.
Uh-oh.
But that's who Arthur is.
Speaking of Onyx, we see within one of the cells, I believe she was like a gray-skinned tiefling or something, or maybe pale purple. Don't quite
I know she was a tiefling, yeah.
We see her missing part of her arm from the forearm. Out of her uniform, standing there patiently, mostly calm in the cell. We see in the outer hallway a handful of agents, some in like a standard sort of like grayish with maybe little accents of light blue uniform, some in black undersuit with little elements of armor on it. You see a group of people who are stopped and are listening to the logs that are coming out from this day, beginning to make their way around the ship. Walking through that group of people as you see Arthur in your vision, Kate, can you describe Ven?
Yep. Ven, Ventus or Ven Erbauer is a Eldrin or like a seasoned elf in her late hundreds. At this point, she is an MEF veteran, though this is her first mission in quite a while. As she has been on psychological leave for a bit to recover from her last mission. She is in still probably fully geared up from when she was out on the pillars and doing her search reconnaissance, and is also looking a little frazzled. I think her eyes are a little bright. She is always in winter, and I think the air around here is maybe just a little colder than normal. She normally keeps that in check, but she's not right now. Scurrying behind her is it's the size of maybe a small dog crab construct, named Pumpkin, that is just trying to keep up with her. She's a battle engineer, so she has a little construct with her. And her eyes are darting around and trying to find Arthur, actually.
Arthur, you see, looking a little uncomfortable.
Beeline. Straight to him.
Yeah, I think he's changed out of his undersuit probably, which he had to at one point cut part of it off, so he wasn't infected. So he's probably not wearing an undersuit or whatever, probably wearing like whatever clothes they give you after medical or whatever the fuck.
Mm.
And I think he's like backing away from this uh cell in like kind of shock.
Arthur.
I told them not to take her. This isn't good. This isn't good. It's not
Ben
good.
kind of looks over at the cell, sees Onyx, and then looks at him. She was touched.
Yeah. She and
Arthur.
then he just nods.
Okay. Then kind of opens up a comms to the captain. Why do we have somebody who can't be held by a radial in holding?
Request takes a moment to process. Goodness, this is I really should have the Gem Shinning one book. I didn't think I'd have to speak as the captain. Who's the captain?
You like Vin would Karen immediately. Let me speak to your manager.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like people like that, but it gets a job done.
There's a reason she's doing this the way she's
Yeah.
doing it right now.
Yeah. You after a moment, goodness, actually let me make a luck check. So the way that we're structuring this, for reasons, this game is not being played with classes or skills, but on pure luck, which we'll explore later. For the most
Which I
part,
love.
we're starting at low stakes luck. So the way these luck checks work, each side, me and the player, roll 3d6. And then we're looking for matches. So in regular luck, one match is mixed luck, so something good, something bad. 2 matches is good luck, 3 matches is perfect luck. So like ideal is possible scenario. Low stakes luck means that it only takes 1 match to have good luck. Each time we fail a luck check, the stakes of the luck check get higher. So it'll start
Oh, great.
very easy, more than 50% chance to get any kind of luck check, and then eventually it'll go down.
Oh.
Sam, how dare you have a home game right now? God damn it.
It says first luck check.
Guys,
5,
let's
3, and
not
3.
get any rolls for now on.
533 446.
Oh,
Great. Okay,
Um,
thanks.
just
So
on the
Ven's luck
radio.
already getting worse.
Vin dies.
You get to a comms officer. How do you think Ven's vitals would look right now? Like, is she like spiking? Is she like
Her stress is spiked.
yeah?
She's aware of what happened to her, and she is also now dealing with the trauma of the worst mission any MEF agent has ever been on, while also remembering all of the therapy that got her through it,
Mhm.
and it's all fresh. So her levels are spiked.
Wonderful. I have written down here, a comms officer. It's the second one, named Amahara, which I presume.
Yep, I have as well.
Oh, that would have been yours then. So then, the other one. Oh no, that's one person. Whoops. That would be Andy's. Do I have a second one? Gosh darn it.
I have a lot of names on mine.
There were so many names the first time.
Yeah.
So I don't have written down. Again, this was originally run 2 years ago. So
I do not have those notes.
I don't have your comms
I'm surprised
officer.
I have them.
But your comms officer will come in and say, Ven, your vitals are spiking. Not in a place, I believe, to be trying to contact the captain directly. I think perhaps you should report to the health and well-being section of the ship and maybe talk to someone.
I'm aware my vitals are spiking. In my log, it explains why my vitals are spiking. And I will be checking in. However, there is a clear and obvious danger on the ship, and that is letting someone who has been touched by whatever this anomaly is anywhere near the ship, considering holding radials do not work.
There are hundreds upon hundreds of engineers who are looking into solving the problem and preventing this anti-magic spread. This is the MEF. We are going to be able to handle it. Please report to health and well-being.
I'm well aware this is the MEF. I've also seen a lot more sides of the MEF than you have, and a lot more than some of those other engineers have. Get them off the ship. And I do think she's about to say that's order, and then like remembers I'm not a lieutenant.
Andy, you have a question?
Yeah, I think this is very important in a way. I think when was the last time Arthur saw Vin?
I don't know, like how much of a relationship the two of you have.
Yeah, maybe it's like just Vin knew of Arthur and then
Yeah.
kept an eye
Vin
out.
knew of Arthur, kept an eye out. She would not have reached out to you if you did not reach out to her.
Okay, yeah, I think the only person you may have been in contact with in Arthur's family was his mom. And she's been sick for the past 2 years. So probably not too much communication. Arthur doesn't know you. He answered your question. He's freaking out. He's gonna take off towards anywhere he thinks he can go that someone in charge can hear.
Okay. So Arthur just bolts. What's Ven
Bolts,
doing?
yeah.
Ven's in the middle of trying to give orders she's no longer in a position to give, and then sees Arthur bolts and then just kind of curses. And is going after Arthur and was like, I'm lodge a formal complaint that I disagree with how this is being handled. She just cuts the comms. Arthur.
I don't think he's hearing you, honestly. He just saw three people die, basically, in his mind. Like not even a day ago for him, probably. Because if he was in medical, he was probably knocked out and not awake. And yeah, this is his first mission, and it was shit. And he is this type of person who always wants to help, and he couldn't do anything, and he can't do anything. He's freaking out. He is a child. He's running. Yeah.
We'll actually cut away from the two of you, and we'll go to Mike. So Mike, your character, you've heard the logs. Something's going on. You're one of the dozens and dozens and dozens, like literally hundreds of engineers who are like trying to look into the problem, figure out, okay, like how do you resolve a thing that is breaking down magic? Like everything is like a rock paper scissors type thing, right? Especially when it comes to like anti magic, like nullifying things. So there's a solution. Um, uh, what is first of all, what does your character look like? What do you think your character is like thinking, feeling, and doing? Yeah.
Yeah, so Clanker is a Kenku, somewhere between like 4 to 4.5 feet tall, wearing like kind of like standard like engineer kind of like clothing, with just like huge tool belt. He's uh kind of like trying to wrap his head about what's going on. He's listened to the logs, he's trying to like piece things together, and he's trying to understand exactly what the problem is. And he understands that it has to do something to do with anti-magic. And so he's trying to think back about like all he's kind of like learned in his years working on support staff. And he thinks of one time when he was working under his mentor Sindri, and Sindri's voice kind of like echoes in his head. And Sindri's voice is like, oftentimes the simplest solution is the one staring you right in the face. And he thinks about anti-magic, how it basically is just the degradation of magic, and almost like negative magical energy. And he theorizes that in order to counteract anti-magic, you gotta fight fire with fire. Use anti-magic on anti-magic. The two negatives cancel each other out, makes positive. And so that's kind of the deduction that he's come to.
Uh, make a luck check for me.
Sure. 3, 4, 5.
2, 4, 4. So low stakes. You succeed. So yeah, it's you look at these cells as a precautionary measure for one. It's a probably a good idea to like just in case any of these people were touched. So also there are, I think, 4 cells with inhabitants. One cell has 5 people. One cell has an archdevil. One cell has a demon. One cell has a wizard, so 5 cells, and one cell has an MEF agent. The context being that we are the cooperation of all of these creatures is because they need something, not from the MEF, but a issue the MEF is attending to. I might get into that later. I might not. So yeah, you can kind of anti-magic all of these shells to like just ensure that there is a ceasing or like, nothing spreads, everything's safe. I think as part of that luck check, you can do that. Looking at the monitors, like monitoring the parts of the cells and around the cells. there's a small like sliver, like an interruption, uh, just beneath the cell that the MEF agent is in. I think remotely, uh, you are unable to assess the situation, so you'd have to go up there and underneath the cell and actually look at what's happening to figure out further.
All right. Yeah. Blanker's got a lot of experience kind of like crawling through the kind of like the sub areas that kind of like line the walls, doing like regular maintenance. And like he reports in this kind of like sliver that he's detecting, and he'll like request permission to investigate, assess, and fix.
Whoever's like the sort of like boss of the engineer bay here will immediately sort of approve. Um, will also like upon your investigation, will have other people in the team ready to like also deactivate the magic, like do sort of anti-magic thing in that part of the ship in case it's a thing that continues to spread. But already the behavior of like a spread like that is strange. But you know, not like totally out of bounds, right? Um, you head on your way over. I think at this time we'll pick up the like listening to the logs to communicate information. As you walk along and sort of like put them in your ears, uh, you also I think pass by a window, and outside the window you see massive, suspended in nothing, nine-sided pillars covered in writing. This is the divine domain of the god of order, where all true information is kept. So things like contracts, divine contracts, that is, true names, true loves, anything that could be like magically binding or bound occurs here or is recorded here. Which is why these powerful creatures, they have business at these pillars that they want resolved, and so they're being cooperative in the interest of getting it resolved. Listening to the pillars or the logs, there's some kind of issue where there's this weird time dilation, and people are changing shape, which could already be things accounted for in the MEF. There's a category of demons called the Boundless. That's, I'm sure, like what most people are thinking of. The descriptions of what's happened sound very similar, with the exception of like the anti-magic thing. So you go underneath, like the level below the cells, and open up a panel and kind of crawl underneath to begin to see what's going on. Roll me another luck check.
All right. 236.
236, 245. Low stakes, no issue. Yeah, it's like slowly spreading here. There's just a couple little things that are being interrupted, little bits of magic, but it's not spreading through. Like it's not necessarily like spreading through magic. It's spreading through just material. Period. But yeah, I think that's all I'll give you right now. I think if you want to further investigate and see like how it's spreading from this point, like you can try to investigate how it's spreading through the cell or like above, or like how extensive it is. But I think that would be another check.
Yeah, I think you would try to understand exactly how it seems to be like spreading just through material in general.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, he'll like kind of like do like a he understands that it's seems to be some kind of anti-magic, so he won't do like a scan because he doesn't want to like risk like feeding off of it or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
He'll just he'll just try to like almost like eyeball it to see if like be get real analog with it and see if there's kind of like a way he can figure out what's going on just without using magic to figure it out.
Hell yeah. Yeah, give me another luck check.
256.
256, 225. Good luck. Or great luck, really. Um, Usually a positive outcome on a roll would yield in more understanding. But nothing's really, because there's maybe if you yeah, maybe you probably have some kind of like magnifying glass or some kind of like headset to like enhance. As
Yeah,
you look,
like some goggles that he just kind
yeah,
of brings in and they kind of like lock in.
the materials as it's spreading are almost like detaching. There's some kind of detachment going on. So yeah, it kind of makes sense. But it's it's a force with momentum, right? And I think there's still an underlying presumption that momentum is magic, right? Momentum is will. That's a fundamental law of how the cosmos works. Magic on the basis is like an expression of will. So there's a will that can stop this. So I think two things. One, right now you feel pretty confidently that anti-magic, like the proper application of some kind of anti-magic, like countermeasure would function to stop this. But also there are two people on the ship right now who had more extensive experience that maybe you should talk to learn more.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go find those people. I'll also kind of like send like a report saying like there seems to be some kind of spreading to the um chamber below and maybe they should like expand
Yeah,
the protective
yeah.
range to that area just to protect it from spreading further.
When you went over, they already were preparing to do so. So
Okay.
as you like walk out of this corridor, door closes behind you, and then you just see the whole like section shut down. A couple of people like leaving just in case.
Mhm.
The energy is like a little unsettled on the ship, but nothing serious. Also, the to describe a little bit of the ship, there's two aesthetics. Maybe I said this at the top, but one is the kind of like futuristic, like Star Trek, Star Wars, kind of a white, clean interior, and then the other is like a more gunmetal, like militarized, like Halo style interior. Like just not quite gritty, but not as like um, presentational, maybe. So as you're going between these like different sections, depending on the needs of the ship and who's supposed to be there, watch the door close. People again. There's just the energy of people being like, this is like this is an odd mission. Um, yeah, I'll as you go on, I'll do this. So we'll cut away from you, and I'll sprinkle some more backstory in case anyone has no idea what's going on. About 9 years ago, the Gallant Entropy wasn't destroyed completely, but close to it. On its 20th mission, in a place called Actios, the divine emissaries of destruction ruined the entropy and almost ended the world. It's not very common that genuine world-ending threats occur. It's not very common. this was one circumstance, and there's a very, very thin margin of error, which some would argue it wasn't even the Gallant Entropy that fully stopped what was supposed to happen. But the ship was destroyed and then had to be rebuilt from the scraps. And this is its first mission back. Now, the Gallant Enterprise famously had bad luck. And the bad luck number that would always appear was 21, whether it was in irrecoverable deaths, or days that a mission lasted, or in trauma inflictions. 21 always would show up. This is the 21st mission. Basil, your father died on the 20th, who served with one of the people who is on the logs right now, who touched down with the problem pillar. What does Basil look like, and how is he feeling right now with the odd energy beginning to settle in?
Basil is a rabbit person or Harengon. He's mostly white fur, similar to his father, except he's a speckle of sort of light brown on his head, and on his ears. And he's fairly short, only about like 2'10" in height. Um, he initially heard like murmurs of people talking as people were sort of getting the logs, and piqued his interest as this building anxiety, and listened to the logs and caught the voice of Ven, who he knows as his Aunt Ven, or his godmother, and he feels this sort of tense. He feels a little anxious himself, but he feels like there's weird sort of tension and anxiety in the air. They always say that his family, the Strellis, are very been on the ship for a very long time, or are very sensitive to the anxiety of dangers, and he feels the sort of twitch of something, but it's uncertain what it is. But he feels he should check in with Ven to see what's happening.
Wonderful. So yeah, everyone who is a deployed agent, an active agent, which 3 of the 4 of us are, has a little. Well, I guess Arthur doesn't have his on, but has a little wrist read, in which you can, like look up information, check on the whereabouts of other people who have their suits on. So you begin to head off towards Ven.
Also, keep detail, he's also 21,
Also
so
21.
very young as well.
Yeah, notice. Arthur and Basil, 21 years old. The bad numbers. Andy, can you make a luck check?
Yeah, definitely. I like luck checks. They're my favorite. I got 1, 2, and 6.
1, 2, 6. 4, 5, 5.
Oh no.
So your stakes raised.
Oh shit! Already?
So then, as Arthur's bolting off, he's running past agents. He's frantic. I think in the part of the ship that they're holding cells is closer to the where the organizational structure of the ship is, rather than the militarized part of the ship is. So running through these white halls, you get into an elevator. Ven is giving chase.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can you roll me another luck check to see if you catch up with Arthur? This is now regular stakes.
Great. Okay.
Am I gonna die this early?
4, 5, 6.
4, 5, 6. 2, 4, 4. So mixed luck.
Thank God.
Oh,
So
it's still.
you can either miss the elevator or get in the elevator and have a consequence.
Consequence.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So you barely get in the elevator as the door is closing. Arthur's in there. He's going to like whatever floor to get to like the command quarters of the ship. And the two of you are stuck in the elevator. Or
I
not
think
stuck,
Arthur.
Elevator's not
but
moving?
like
Yeah.
it'll move, but like you're
Yeah.
enclosed, just the two of you.
I think
Also assuming
he's
Pumpkin got left behind.
Sure. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I assume he's like pressing the button. It's not going fast enough, and he kicks the wall, which it means nothing because he's a mage or warlock.
Then-
Technically.
Grabs, I think, Arthur by the shoulder and just kind of turns him around. Look at me.
We need to
You're
hurry.
in shock. You're in shock.
Yeah, but people will die.
Breathe. I'm well aware. Breathe. I need you to breathe. You're not going to make this thing go any faster. I know the design specs.
We need to stop this.
Yes. And we're going to.
Listen, go fucking faster. He, like,
They're
kicks
barely
the wall
listening to me.
again.
I'm talking more. Look at me. If you don't talk coherently, they're not going to listen to you. You'll be put in med bay and you'll be stuck there. You need to breathe.
I think he like pushes away from Vin and like slides down like on the wall and like sits on the floor and puts his hands in his head. And he's just ragged breath, like trying to calm himself down, waiting for this elevator to stop.
I think Ben just says and kneels next to you and attempts to pull you into a hug.
I think he pulls away at first and then like gradually lets you, and he probably fucking starts bawling. And then like talking about like, oh, I tried to save them, I couldn't save my friends, you know, so on and so forth. We should have gone in. We were too young. We had no shot. Uh, Camp died. Naga died. Onyx is dying. And it's just a lot of incoherent worries.
I think Ben is keeping herself from focusing on Arthur is 100% keeping her from focusing on herself. And I do think she just kind of rubbed his back. We had no idea. We had no way of telling what that was. It's never been seen before.
We don't stop
This
it.
wasn't.
It's all gonna die.
We're going to stop it. We're the MEF. If you want to be a part of stopping it, you have to pull yourself together. You went through academy, you know friends die. You know people die. Do you know who I am?
I think that's when he realizes that he's being hugged by who he thinks is a stranger. And he realizes, where he's at and what he's doing, and he like stops. He forces himself to stop crying, like wipes away the tears, like pushes away and like looks at you. And I don't think he recognizes you. I think he recognizes your symbol. Like
The tag.
yeah. Probably because with like, in America we get given like a flag for the ones that pass who are in the military. So whatever that equivalent is of what his mother was given when his father died. I think Arthur himself was given it.
Ben wouldn't have been well enough to do it. You did
Yeah.
definitely see her tag in any of your father's service records.
Yeah, I think it's just like the same, like whatever symbol they use to donate to, like, hey, veteran or of this war was probably with, his
Hmm.
awards and accolades of his father. And he shakes his head no, and then just like points to the uh, you know, probably that ribbon or whatever.
I'm formerly Lieutenant Commander Van Herbauer.
I think
I
he
was with your father.
I think he's looking through his pockets for uh something and pulls out, equivalent of a wallet, and pulls out like a really old picture. And the picture, okay. Uh it's a picture of a younger mom, his younger mom, and him when he was 8. And half of it is burnt away almost, and it looks like there was a person there. And you and he's like pointing at the burnt off part, and he's like, my father, he was
He kept that with him the entire time.
you knew my father?
I was his commander. I knew him. Which means you know his service record and you know the risks that are inherent with joining the MEF.
Uncle Rudius might be able to help. I he was in the MEF with Dad. I think it's like Arthur doesn't know what rank Rudius was. He just knows that he's still been in the MEF since then. It's like, oh, Dad's friend. That's like his thought right now. We need to tell someone who knows, who can, like, get her out of here. We need more time to understand what's happening.
We need to find someone who doesn't have incredibly spiked emotion levels to talk for us, who will listen to us, because they're not going to listen to either of us right now. I've already tried. I think she's also purposely like ignoring certain comms that are trying to come through. If our comms officer is attempting to be like, why aren't you in medbay? Um,
Well, speaking of, so
mm,
Basil, you're tracking like Ven's movement. She's going up an elevator, so you kind of like get to that level and go to try to like intersect her in the hall. You see, waiting in whatever elevator bay there is there, 6 emergency response agents, and just 6 emergency response agents.
Um, is the vibe is they're also waiting for
Yeah.
for them.
Mhm.
that'll go
Well,
so well.
like uh, I think Basil just sort of like approaches, but stands a little behind them, just waiting to see if they notice him. But he people seem there's a lot of people who seem to be in the middle of doing something, and he's like, okay, maybe I'll assist if something needs to be done, but I don't know what's happening.
The elevator door opens, and Arthur, sitting against the wall and kneeling down. As you turn, you see the 6 agents just standing there. Like, they're not going to rush up and grab you. This is the MEF. We're all on the same
Mhm.
team here. But it's also the point of like 2 individuals in high distress, um, not cooperating, not taking orders, which is means that you need to be escorted somewhere. How do the 2 of you react?
I think there's the 2 options for Arthur. One is to stand up and run, to try to get past him, but I think Vin kind of calmed him down out of that. So he'll get up like fast, or whatever, and then just try to walk past him. not like running, not pushing through, just these people are waiting. Just gonna walk past them. They totally aren't here for me.
Uh, when they go to grab you, do you try to resist?
I think I think he resists verbally, but I don't think he physically resists
And
because he's not a strong boy.
what about then?
Ben sees people about to escort her for Blue Skies Protocol.
Clear Skies was only something that ever happened in
No,
Activision.
I know, Jesse. She has
Oh,
everything scrambled in her head.
I see, I see, I see.
This is not real, but this is
But
what
yeah,
she
Wagner
sees.
just died in your brain technically then. And your kids were just born, and
Yeah, kids were
you
just,
fell for your first time as a kid when you tried to
yeah.
walk.
Her marriage just happened. Everything. A bunch
Your
of weird
parents,
space Vikings decided to be naked in a dropship for some reason.
yeah, weird.
Um, and I think then I think the immediate panic in her eyes is very evident, as well as any spike that maybe happens. Um, and I think she stands up, looks around, engineer eyes, looks up at the any kind of maintenance hatch that these things would have, knows that that's a bad idea.
If the two of you could come with us, please. Mike, you have a question?
Is Ven the person that Clanker is trying to get to ask questions?
Yes.
Does he know she's in the elevator?
Not. You're not as aware of the
Take
situation
control
yet.
of
You're
it.
you're on your way to also intercept, but farther behind.
Oh,
Well, I mean, like, do I know where her location on the ship is what I'm
Sure,
saying.
yeah.
Can I remote override the elevator?
Why
Aren't there,
would you?
aren't they not there
I
anymore?
don't. I
You're
don't
just gonna
think
leave the kid.
you would have a reason to um
Kidnap me.
yeah.
Well, like also the whole ship isn't as freaking frantic as Arthur
Yeah,
is.
yeah. Right
Right.
now, the framing seems as though, uh, and also like the them being taken somewhere doesn't mean that you won't have access to them. It just means that they're gonna stay put and be treated.
Oh no, yeah, I'm not saying it's like, oh, I need to save Ven or anything. It's more of it's like, oh, she's about to get off the elevator, but I need to talk to her.
I think that would be bending the
His
MEF
power.
ideals a bit much.
Clanker's like, I have the ability to. Might as well.
Yeah.
Would be
I
hilarious.
think like
This
would,
is Sindri's apprentice, though.
but also, again, I think you also know that like if not talk in 1 minute, talk in 5 minutes when they're-
Okay,
yeah.
Maybe
That's
you
fine
did
then.
that before and got in trouble, so you don't do it
maybe,
anymore.
yeah.
I also think
Um,
in position of just pure rationale right now is also the simplest thing is just well I'll have a couple of extra minutes before I get to talk. But also like
All right,
you
fair enough.
yeah it's all fine.
yeah.
I would say
Um,
I see Ven and she looks stressed and she hasn't seen me yet and she hasn't like stepped forward yet. I'm gonna like poke my head out and be like, I'm Ven.
I think when you see
In a
Daisy,
in
you
a sort
basically
of
see Clover.
I think Arthur starts to yell. Uh he's in a bad spot, and I think I have to play him that way.
Mm.
And I think uh they're like, you gotta come with me. He's like, we don't have time. We need help. We need help. And he's like, they're holding him, and he starts yelling help. And then they probably stop him from yelling.
As they
And then
say,
I think, yeah.
then
Clover?
I
No.
pause for a second and shake my head. It's Basil. Are you I now that I've
Raz.
started talking, I'm gonna like walk through the people. Start walking up to her. It's not sure what's happening, but want to be like maybe de-escalate something. It's Basil.
You're Basil. I know that. You look a lot like your father.
I nod in a way that I've been told that a lot.
And I kind of look back at the med crew. I understand why you're cornering me, but that's a really bad idea right now. Please back up.
They will. Two of them will take, like the closest ones, will take a step back. As Fodrin is actively, like, probably, or not Fodrin, Arthur, actively being
He's not his dad.
Being a problem.
Yeah, being a problem. They'll say, please step out of the elevator and come with us.
If we don't want someone to take over the elevator.
I do think Benz takes a step. My heightened emotions are not changing the fact that my recommendation for what needs to be happening right now in the danger assessment is still sound.
Your recommendation as a single combat engineer doesn't overrule the many hundreds of agents on the ship who also are assessing the problem as we speak. We have
The problem can be assessed off ship.
hundreds of protocols.
I think Arthur yells, "We're gonna die."
I've discouraged that actively.
If the problem is so severe that the MEF cannot handle it and the God of Order cannot handle it, then the problem is unprecedented. Come with us. Let's begin to talk you down from your emotions. This is no longer your issue to worry about.
Ben is smart enough to know how much to cooperate to make sure she doesn't get fucking sedated.
Arthur does
Uh,
not.
Because right now I think that is like if they knock me out, I'm not going to be any good. And I look over at Baz.
He's smiling, and there's an anxious look in his eyes. He's never seen this sort of vibe from Ven before.
I'm okay. Um, Van will kind of slowly step, and then I don't know if I can even make it so Baz can't. Only Baz could hear me.
Well, the other people stepped back. I think I'm still just like sort of
Yeah.
Yeah,
right up there.
I am going to go ahead and kneel down and just hug you, like I've done a few times, and then kind of whisper, find someone who will listen to me. Please,
I
I'll
give you
behave.
a pat and nod.
I think Arthur's gone nonverbal, and I think he's trying to contact his patron, which technically MEF told him not to.
Yeah, I'll also say, because in the what does David call it, the lizards and grottos game, we had to have patrons if you're a warlock. I think the lore changed very much. Um, uh, I think gloss over that a little bit.
I
Um,
like I
But
liked it. Okay.
yeah, so Ven is basically asking Basil, find someone who thinks I'm not crazy, please. And she's going to kind of
It's
straighten up
gonna be
and
fine.
yeah, I'll also say for Basil, like the MEF's going to listen to her. They're just dealing with the primary problem, which is like the MEF's a big team. It's extremely
Yeah,
collaborative, and like Ven's the one who's acting really out of pocket right now by not acknowledging that and trying to go to directly, like not using any of the correct lines. Just like it's every protocol says that Ven's and is super out of pocket right now.
yeah, yeah.
Arthur's not at all out of pocket.
all the protocols have broken down. I don't have to follow them. This is Actios. Um, this is a war zone, actually.
Mm.
And so Ven does kind of stand up and walks over. She considers asking them to confirm that clear skies is no longer in effect, but she also knows that will probably also make her seem insane.
Mm.
So
Wait, what's
she
that?
just, yeah, everyone knows what clear skies was, I think, if they knew Actios. Um, and so she just takes a breath. Okay.
So the two of you are escorted. What does Basil do? Because also I'll frame it for you like this. Um, the for you, it seems as though the primary crisis is Ven. Um, so would you just kind of like follow along and try to like
Yeah,
be there to okay, yeah.
I'm just gonna follow. Like I don't know what's happening elsewhere. I only barely understood or heard what the logs were, and Ven's in a strange sort of state I haven't seen her in. And I'm just like smiling at the other officers, being like, she's gonna,
Hmm.
and then following along, being like, okay,
Yeah.
well,
I think she hasn't accidentally called you Clover in like over
yeah,
5 years at this point.
something feels wrong, but for now, it's just trying
Yeah.
to become myself. So when she needs me, I'll be there.
Mhm. So the three of you will arrive in the like health and wellness station. There's station, like section of the ship. There are a number of different offices, but first, we'll sort of have like a sort of like magic psych eval, um, for both Arthur and Ven, which would be the same, um, like equipment that they would have used for Clear Skies. Um, uh, at this time, Clanker will also arrive as like Arthur is just being like evaluated and people are like trying to talk to him. Um, uh, yeah, let's pick up like this. Arthur will be the first one who's like evaluated. Everyone will be sort of like everyone else may be like outside of the room. So we'll start a scene with Arthur, and then Clanker can approach Ven from the other side. So it's kind of like a rounded room. There's a couple of little like monitoring stations. There's a thing in the center. It's not quite. It's like a upright table to just like lay back on. Um, the like emergency response agents, which are like the combat agents, but to protect the ship. Will try to place Arthur on the ship or on the table. And there is a person in like a nice kind of tight uniform, will come up and say, Arthur, Are you okay? You seem to be in high distress.
So something's infecting people, and it's it can't be stopped. We have it on the ship.
Okay, okay,
We're not
okay.
supposed to.
Arthur, this is the MEF. Whatever it is, we'll stop it. You're one person. You had a bad experience. Protocols broke down.
We use magic. It infects magic. We need to stop it now.
The hate to break it
It
to you,
infected my Sue.
everything's magic. Everything's magic, right?
We need to be separated from it. The ship is magic,
I'm magic. You're magic. That's the magic is the
and it
fundamental.
kills people.
Yeah, and a lot of people and things die. I'm sorry that on a mission that you weren't supposed to experience that's happened in a
We
way that
risk everyone's life by holding her here.
that is your personal assessment that has very little expertise applied to it. Do you
Were you
understand?
there?
Your personal
Did you hear the
experience
logs?
doesn't give you an expertise. If anything, it gives you a bias. I need you to breathe. You have gone through 2 years of academy, and you've been given a frame of this job in which you are supposed to feel invincible, like you can handle anything. And your first experience has given you information that goes against everything that you have learned. You are at a complete conflict of purpose and experience, and you're having a breakdown because of it. I need you to come down a little bit, okay? You've had one experience.
And it'll be my last. And then I think he stops talking to them. No one's listening to him. Not a single person. The only person that listened to him also got pulled away.
Speaking of, on the outside, so Clanker comes down the hall. There's still other 4 agents who are emergency response agents who are just standing in the hallway, making sure that like no one leaves. There's the anxious energy between Basil and Ben. Like the two of them just got here also. Um, uh, uh, and Clanker comes up.
I just look around at all the different agents just kind of standing out. They're just like, well, hell, what seems to be going on here?
Ven starts and then just stares at you with wide eyes. Sindri? No. No. I watched Sindri die.
You think of Sindri dying was, I think, the peak of the dread that you experienced in Actios. Because his death, he was supposed to sacrifice himself. Not that it was a big plan, but in the moment, he made a move that you believed in that was supposed to
And I
finally
assisted.
end it. And then everything went wrong.
Van, what's going on?
I do think that is causing some. I think she had finally managed to start to get her baselines down, and now that's just and whoever is looking at her stats. Uh and she looks at Clanker and carefully pulls up in her view tag what your name is. Clanker, if you could please use any other voice but his.
Any other voice but his.
Oh, so you mostly just have his then. Okay. You needed something from me?
Mission?
This mission?
He just nods.
We shouldn't keep them on the ship. I know it's maybe against protocol, but we should not keep them on the ship.
Kind of starts like almost like clipping different words from like different people, just like anti-magic, in effect, contained.
You can't contain it. It'll eat through any radials. It'll eat through any containment field because all the containment fields are magic.
Anti-magic, anti-magic, reversed.
That's the first thing that anyone says that might logically calm you down. Like this, you're in some ways like a engineering expert, but also the entire point of the MEF is that like information or all the information or solutions in the world cannot be held by a single expert, right? This is a team effort. The whole point again, it's like collaboration, right? And I think Ven, I don't think, has been thinking like an engineer. She's been thinking like an agent, and there's maybe a couple of like weird flashes of conversations you've had with Yale or other people about like solving different kinds of problems, nullifying different kinds of magics, and there seems to be a logic of like, right, yeah, right, that's reasonable to there's a probably 100 different ways to solve a magic like infection, right? Like it's you had again, it's a thing of like you had a bad experience last mission, and then a mission that wasn't supposed to go bad went really really bad, and has twisted your brain all around. It shouldn't be a problem.
Any engineers need to be careful, and if possible, you should be using engineers without extreme trauma to scan it. I did a very basic spell to try to understand what the being was. And as I said in the logs, I experienced my entire life in the space of a breath. And I'm now trying to deal with that. If you know Sindri, you know what that means for me.
What are you doing about it?
Trying to cooperate so someone will listen to me and I can keep assisting. No one else has seen the thing besides myself and Arthur. I don't even know if Arthur saw it or saw what the thing that the the speaker of the pillar became. And I very much want this mission over as quickly as possible now. So I'm going to attempt to get through being in a room that I never wanted to step foot in so I can get back to engineering and see if I can assist. Because they're not going to let me off the ship again. Kind of glances over at the whatever medical people are standing nearby to make sure she doesn't make a break for it. What are you all doing? What have you seen?
Magic eating through material. Anti-magic on subdeck contain. Coming from agent cell.
The one that was infected.
Just nods.
As you say that, we'll cut away from all of the characters. We see a person in a sort of white uniform, little symbol of like this is a mental health and well-being's officer, who first is on their way to speak with Onyx. The deck itself is has the anti-magic, the cell deck, but the door is still being kept functional, or is maybe even activated. It will slide open, and they will walk through. Onyx is back facing the like window of the cell, looking down. He will approach, sort of observe, like look down the hall, and then come up to the cell and knock. The head will kind of move, and the body will turn, and at the point of her forearm where it was cut off, the arm is beginning to unravel and just float in space. And there's just this vacant look, as if there's not much person left. You see on this officer's face a resignation of disappointment. And then we'll turn, and on a tablet they have with them, walk out and contact to send a message back to the mechanics bay, or the engineering bay, that the whatever is currently solution is not working, and to like continue experimenting, and then he will make his way to where all of you are. A couple of minutes later, as this conversation is happening, he will walk up. The door on the other side will open as Arthur is sort of brought out by the other officer. And as the four of you are briefly here, this current officer will introduce themselves. and say, I understand that the two of you are having a very difficult experience right now. I'm here to talk to you both extensively as much as you need. Would you, do you mind, do you want these two other agents here with you? Are they friends of yours?
Arthur turns away from this person. He's gone into silent treatment kid mode.
Mm.
I think he broke that day is what I think I'm picking up from Arthur. And I don't think he makes it out of here whole. I don't think he is whole anymore.
Can everyone here roll a luck check?
No. Yeah, got you. Ow, fucking elbow. All right, I got
Let's
4,
spread at
5,
least.
6.
4, 5, 6.
Or 6, 5, 4. It's cooler that way.
1, 2, 5.
166.
1,
3, 1, 1.
3, 1, 1. So Basil's the only one who'll get out clean here, as my numbers are 3, 3, 4.
Clean?
Oh, cool. So I go up again. Great.
I go
Okay,
up
sweet.
again?
Arthur has mixed luck on this because you had a 4.
Yeah. Oh, I don't go
so
up,
you don't
but
go up.
I didn't make it. Okay. That's not better. Not better for Arthur anyway.
This officer will turn and with the left hand kind of just introduce themselves formally to Basil and Ven. And then on the other side will turn with the right hand and shake Clanker's hand. And as they do so, he will say, and they begin to approach Arthur, and will say, I went to speak with your teammate, Onyx. I gave a knock on the cell, and it appears that her condition is advancing. I have alerted the engineers to continue to try to resolve the issue. But I'm sorry. Ven, you hear he says knock, and
Mhm.
you think which hand? Because if it's spreading
Yep.
through material, there's a very good chance that whichever hand it was, is infected, and he is infected.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
You see, he is going up to touch Arthur.
Don't touch anyone. Did you touch the cell she was in?
Is Arthur tied down?
No, not at this point. There's 2 agents
He
still around.
fucking like scrambles into a faraway corner if he can. Or, like farthest away from the bed
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever. Or yeah.
I know I'm under a lot right now, but the facts are still the thing is spreading through, touching through materials. And did you touch material that she came in contact with?
He'll hands up and take a step back and say, yes, possibly.
Oop, that's not good. Arthur has his hand up like Chris Pratt and Jurassic World. Park World.
Which hand?
Just his hand. Oh,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
talking to
No,
me.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He will look at both of his hands. He shook Basil and Ven's hand with his left, Clanker's hand with his right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
This is his right hand.
Bye.
You touched it with your right hand.
Yeah.
Cut it off.
Clanker
I think
looks at the glove on his hand to see if there's any reaction.
Take off the glove, Clanker.
uh Arthur's definitely whispering like, cut it off.
He
Cut
just
it off. Yeah.
rips off the glove and just throws it on the ground because he doesn't know where else to put it.
Mm. Mhm. Uh, you, yeah, okay, that works for me actually.
No.
I'm okay. I don't have to kill you yet, guys.
the in this moment, if this is transferring through material, actually, actually, Mike, make me another luck check.
Sure. One, 3, 6.
136, 155. One of the emergency response agents will speak up. And will say, given the unknowns of the situation, I think perhaps it's best that we escort Arthur, Clanker, and this officer back to the cells, considering we are unable to account for their level of infection.
They didn't touch me.
I think this is for your own safety, Arthur. Ven, I think your bad luck here, or did you have mixed luck or bad luck? You had bad luck, right?
Bad.
Yeah, I think you're just losing it. Like I think just like the stress and like you're like problem solving of like, okay, the Clanker's glove, cool. He threw it on the ground. Is the ground infected? Is it spreading over here now? And I think even like the officer, knowing that he could be a problem, will pick up the glove gingerly. But I think Ven is also, because he's like, well, if I'm infected, I'll hold the material so no one else does. But I think you are like everything is just breaking down. Emotions are beginning to cross, like time experiences for you, and you're beginning to lose a sense of where you are. The only one who's handling shit right now is Basil.
And Arthur, obviously.
Clanker's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a situation until they got tense. Everyone was like, "Don't touch anything." So Basil's like a little step back and looking at Ven, be like, "Aunt Ven, what are we doing?"
Why weren't we already using a virus not a virus, contamination containment protocol?
The engineers had implemented already containment.
We should be treating this like it's a basic disease. A clean room's not that hard.
I think the officer will just say we're working with a lot of assumptions right now. Theories going around the ship is that this is likely some advancement of boundless demons, which we will have solutions for very quickly. Please, it seems like you are in an elevated state. We need to all remain very collaborative.
Collaborate and listen.
I would be more collaborative if any of you had bothered listening to me, as I seem to be the only one with direct experience of when the MEF didn't have any fucking answers.
Where would they be locking Arthur up? Of his mind, does he think they're gonna lock him up next to
They
Onyx?
say back to the cells, or perhaps another group of cells for containment.
Yeah, I think he's just screaming, "Don't take me there!" Like they didn't touch me. They didn't touch me. Don't take me there. Oh yeah.
I think the officer himself trying to like remain as calm as possible. Will look over at Arthur and say, "Arthur, it's okay. I'm gonna be with you. All right. Me and this other agent are going to stay with you. Everything's going to be fine. We're going to figure it out." Okay.
Don't take me there. I'll
He'll
stay wherever you need me. Don't take me there.
roll another luck check.
Uh-oh.
Are you at regular stakes right now or high stakes? No, you had mixed luck, so you're regular still.
Yeah. 126.
126. Good luck.
Okay.
Arthur, you've had no contact and you're experiencing no symptoms?
They touched my outer layer. I cut it off. We know the infection rate on layers of clothing because we know the time when Cam went in, and by the time Cam was affected, and it wasn't long enough for me to be infected. And it's been I don't know how long, and he like tries to look at a watch or whatever. He's not wearing his suit. It's probably where he cut it off, and he's like, I don't know. I didn't touch him. I didn't. No one touched me. No one. Please don't. Please.
Okay. Okay. Again, everyone needs to please remain calm. This is a situation that, again, every agent on the ship is getting new orders to deal with. We are all learning together. We are a large team. Okay? And again, look at Ven.
Then listen to us.
Your input is being noted, but inputs
And
of-
thrown away. Listen to us.
we are accounting for what you are saying as best we can, but we need to account for as much as we can, which also means leaning on expertise outside of your individual experience. We are in communication with many keepers of other pillars to try to see how widespread this problem is, if it is widespread at all, as well as the other keeper on this particular pillar. Everything's going to be fine. We just need to
They got the guy out that touched the glass, right? Or did they not? Is this person still in there?
The guy who touched. Oh no, there's the guy. That's the guy who's speaking.
Oh, I think. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think Arthur is still just trying to stay away from this person. Like he's not nearly off edge yet, given that, oh, we're not going to take you to that cell immediately. But hey, this guy still might be infected.
How are Basil and Clanker feeling in this moment?
I think Clanker, after like degloving and like throwing it away, is now just like watching his hand intently just watching for any sign of infection on his hand, and is not really paying attention to the conversation between this guy and Arthur.
I already had you make a luck check for the throwing the glove, right? We already succeeded that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you look, doesn't appear to be anything wrong. Like the little bits of what you thought you were seeing with like some kind of detachment aren't happening on your hand. You as far as you know, you think you're fine.
Okay.
Basil's like hovered back when everyone's just like not touching each other, and he's just really keeping an eye on Arthur, who is the most like loudest person in the moment, and keeping an eye on Ven, and just sort of like locking in to paying attention to everything. But
Yeah, I think.
think
Go ahead.
Ven turns and looks at Basil and Arthur.
I don't think Arthur's looking at you. I think he's still staring at this guy.
I should have listened to my gut and told you not to get on this ship. I wanted to tell you not to get on this ship. Both of you are too good.
I think the other resource officer who is operating within the room, with that kind of like fatalism, we'll kind of just look at the the one who's supposed to be therapizing people right here. Uh, um, and that officer will turn to Clanker and say, let's let's go isolate ourselves, just in case.
But dude,
Seeing,
they leave, he gets so much calmer.
yeah, Clinker will kind of like follow the guy out of the room, he's still just kind of like still watching his hand. He's kind of like got it out from him just a little bit, not as intent this time because he thinks he's okay, but he still is watching it just in case it like is like a there's like a latency period or something.
Um, are you, as you're watching that, uh, are you paying attention to where the glove dropped and where the floor also might have come into
Oh
contact with
no.
it?
That's what I was thinking. I was, is the glove
Well, Jesse already showed that the I everything can be infected.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't think that is on Clinker's mind at the moment. I think he's more focused on whether or
His
not
body?
he needs to cut off his hand or not.
Make a luck check.
All right.
fall through a hole?
256.
256. 1, 3, 5. Mixed luck. You will step on the same spot, but at some point it will occur to you to take the boots off as well. Um, and that'll be another luck check. Also, figuring out mechanics of these sessions as we go. I think 2 mixed luck checks in a row is the same as a bad luck. So you need good luck, or at
Oh,
least on the same circumstance. Um, uh, the resource officer, the other one, will sort of invite Ven inside, and try to like kind of stop the conversation of like, I shouldn't have let you on the ship. It's going bad. You know, like there's the whole thing of like bad luck gem 21. Like let's you
I
know.
will say the way that Ven was wording it also wasn't panic.
Mm. Well,
It was that
that's
acceptance, which is almost
yeah,
worse.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
don't worry,
no, I
it's not
think part of
acceptance.
her
I'm sorry,
mood
it's
is going to post Tritolonia,
Yeah.
which is the worst battle, one of the absolute worst battles she was in, where I think she was one of possibly the only survivor.
Yeah, I think the
Um,
rest of your
my
squad
crew
was
died
gone.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If not your
Uh,
group, all
my group.
yeah,
I think all my group died there. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, and I do think Ven pauses at the door. And just kind of stares inside. This isn't going to help how you see me, but I need you to confirm that Clear Skies protocol is not in use.
That was only ever used in Actios. There's no reason why we'd be using it right now. There's no reason.
I never should have been using it in the first place. Then I think does kind of carefully take a couple steps in.
As you step in and the door closes,
Actually, I'll be like, then I'll be waiting for you. Just like give her comforting words before we are separated.
the agents. So 2 agents will go with, emergency response will go with Clanker and the well-being officer. 2 will stay with Fen just in case, and then 2 will be outside with Basil and Arthur. But I guess more on Arthur.
yeah. Arthur, Andy keeps wanting to be like, oh, Arthur wants out of the room because of the spot, but I keep also reminding myself Arthur wouldn't probably think of that
Yeah, Arthur.
either.
Yeah, I don't think Arthur would be thinking that far.
Yeah,
Um,
he's more on like the magical side, not like the actual like
yeah.
sword side.
Um, I think for the purposes of a scene here, um, uh, it'll occur to the two of you, or maybe even to Basil. Maybe Arthur's still a bit too excited. Occur to Basil that your fathers served together in Actios.
Yeah, I don't think Arthur is. He doesn't act. I don't think Arthur knows Basil at all,
Yeah.
or that information.
Well, we might have been at the academy, but there's a lot of people, so
Oh yeah.
uh,
Actually, yeah. You probably would have crossed paths in the academy as well.
Yeah,
So
Arthur has the thing of being super friendly, so he learns everyone's names, but I think he forgets them.
mm,
So I don't think he knows Baz.
mm.
Basil is good with names because he has hundreds and hundreds of
So many.
relatives. So, so he'd be like, um, I don't what is your last name? Because I would remember that, but
Urias.
you're
Urias.
Arthur, right? We were at the academy at the same time.
I think he doesn't hear you the first time, and I think uh it takes a second for him to realize you said something, his brain to process it. And he's like, sorry, huh? Yeah,
Uh,
I'm Arthur.
I'm Basil. We were at the academy together.
Okay. I'm Arthur. I
I think
do I know you?
we've said hi to each other a few times. I don't think we've spoken much, but you know Ven as well?
That's her name? Yeah. No. Yes. Uh I she knew my dad.
Mm,
Uh
yeah. I think our fathers were at Actios together with her.
wonder if he knew they were gonna die.
If he did, my dad never showed it in his logs.
My mom, she's I'm not making it back, am I? He's fucking broken.
I think
We
one of the
we don't know what's happening yet. You're gonna be fine.
emergency response members will also say, "Kid, we're all making it out. It's gonna be okay." Can the two of you roll me a luck check? Uh, because there's that spot in the hallway.
I also don't think Fodrin ever met Clover.
I mean, maybe not in session, but
Yeah.
they were.
I have one that's like 75% cocked. I'm gonna let you all know it was a one, just in case it changes things, but I'm re-rolling it because you gotta honor the cock, you know?
Mhm.
Gotta honor the cock.
Yeah. Anyway, I got 2, 4, 4.
Got 6, 3, 4.
3, 6, 6.
Uh-oh, Arthur
Uh,
might die.
Arthur stepped directly on the spot that the glove was on.
Ooh.
Um,
And he doesn't think to have to take off his shoe.
well, you also don't know, that, and you don't know that you've stepped on it. No one does.
Yeah, I don't specifically think he was. No, he wasn't paying attention
Yeah,
when Clanker took off the glove at all,
yeah,
because he was focused on the guard.
yeah.
Yeah,
You're also having a
mental breakdown.
mental breakdown and emotionally heightened conversation about dead fathers.
Yeah,
We'll cut and
I think I
snap.
think I think even to just to spice shit up, I think he pulls out the picture. Um, and is going to show Basil it, and I think he drops it.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
then we can make a luck check after when we come back to us to see if it touches the stuff, and then see if Basil touches it.
Okay. Yeah.
And if it does, I specifically want it to touch Arthur on the picture, the baby Arthur.
Mm.
So
Uh,
maybe the picture of Talia survives after we
so,
die.
so you're initiating basically another luck check for Matt.
Yeah, but also, well, that's like two steps
yeah,
first.
yeah.
But
Well, no, I'm gonna do
Basil
one.
doesn't even have to touch it. But it just, I like the flavor because I remember when I added the picture, I was like, I'm gonna burn out Fodrin's half of it, and when Vin finds it. So yeah.
But we'll cut inside to Ven. Um, the
So glad I play with people who love me. This is great.
the
And you know what? I can make you cry later tonight too if I try hard enough.
the officer inside, will say, "Do you prefer Vensis or Ven?"
Ben,
Okay, Ven, how are you feeling right now?
you read the log. You know that right now all of my memories are out of place.
Right.
And if you've looked at my service
Right.
logs, you know how bad that is.
Can you lean against this table for me? I did hear the log. If you've been put under a magical effect that has reordered your experience of memories, I think maybe the first thing to do is to put them back into place, if that's okay.
Okay.
That should settle most of the stress and the anxieties. I'm going to turn on this machine. I don't know how similar the readouts of the modifications to the Clear Skies protocol are to what this is right now. So I don't know what your personal experience is. There's a reason that they have kept the specs quiet. But let me know if you have any anxiety about anything I'm doing. I can slow down or stop or talk through it. Okay?
Okay.
Kind of like a dental light. You like pull a thing down that will like shine on your head. If honestly, like, it feels like nothing. You feel like a little bit like the magic buzz, but everything's very straightforward. He'll begin to talk to you through of like, things. You won't feel anything. You'll just start to become more present if this works right. He'll go up to the
What will I feel if it goes wrong?
well, nothing. He'll go up to the monitoring station and begin to input some things, and then we'll kind of hesitate. Reach to a little tablet and type something in, and then say, this was blowback from an effect that you had, that a spell that you cast.
I did
You read or tried to read something's thoughts.
yes. And it's never had there's safety built into the spell usually.
Yeah. The readout doesn't read anything is wrong. My monitors are telling me that this is more or less supposed to be how your mind is structured. But I've already contacted someone who knows a little bit more about magic and this kind of stuff. They'll be here in a minute. Maybe this is a key. can you tell me a little bit? Did you recognize any patterns of orders of memory? Was it all at once? Were there specific instances? If you can try to think of gaps in years, any patterns?
My mind is a box of photographs, and all those photographs are my memories, and I had them in an order. Someone opened that box, grabbed everything, shuffled through them, and then threw them inside with no care.
Okay.
Nothing seems like it. I have 160 years to work through.
Right. You see one of the doors. There's 3 doors in this room. One of the doors opens, and you see a sort of like thick, orcish gentleman come in. You see he says, "Hello, Vensis. My name is Landrin. I'm a expert. Here to help." The other officer will sort of repeat what you just said. And he'll immediately go to one of the stations and will say, okay, I'm going to initiate a program to begin to try to interact with you and call up memories. Do you want them to be conscious or subconscious?
Just for Kate's, what exactly does
Subconscious just means that like it'll be as if nothing's happening, but sometimes that not knowing what's happening to you is worse than knowing
is
what's
worse?
happening to
And right now, Ven is severely worried about conscious.
you. Okay. Given the severe nature of your experiences, particularly in Actios, is it okay if we put gentle restraints on you?
Is this a question I actually get to say no to?
You can. It might interrupt the process if you begin to move and step away. But if such a thing happens, we'll just start over again or opt out for now. Maybe you need time to process.
Just give me something to hold on to. Don't restrain me. I'll stay still.
One of the emergency response agents will just kind of like hold up their arm for you to grab.
Mm-hmm.
He'll begin to initiate and go through memories. Good thing, well over 90% of your memories are not in Actios. And even the ones in Actios are like, there's a lot of in-between time between the extreme trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So he begins to go through, there's little clips, essentially.
She was Black Protocol, Jesse. Seraphine was ripped out of her mind.
Interesting. Make a luck check.
Make a luck check?
Mhm.
I don't even I've lost track of how many matches I need. We're just
I think are you?
it's high stakes now.
Is it high stakes? Okay.
I keep failing.
Yeah, because you failed last time. Yeah. It's high stakes.
Yeah. 2, 4, 5.
2, 4, 4. It's a little intense. There's little touches of like, here's something you experienced in a traumatic way, but like not direct trauma. maybe like 15 minutes of just like this kind of uneasy emotional ride before he'll stop and say, uh, yeah, there's a pattern here. Um,
What's the pattern?
it, hard. It's just the way it's reordered is, and he'll kind of list off some terminology of like here's how you would have experienced things reordered in your life. Uh, but he'll say good news and bad news. This will probably help deal with what's happening to material and people. So I'm immediately going to pass the structure on to engineering, and that means that we're probably going to be pretty close to solving this. Bad
Are
news
you
is
saying
that
that this affected my brain the way that it's affecting the others it touched?
uh, he'll say straightforward. I mean, yes, it's the same pattern, although I'm not seeing decay here. Your memories are not changing position, which, as far as I'm getting from what else is going on the ship, there's the decay is a continued changing of position.
Okay.
But so bad news is that uh, this is a effect that we'd need to manually reorder, um, which could take days. It might be a thing that we have to do after the mission concludes, which hopefully we can resolve in the next 24 hours.
I hope we resolve it in the next 24 hours. Our containment protocols have been surprisingly lax.
Well, we're learning, and we just figured out an important part of this key, so I have full faith in the rest of the hundreds of other engineers that we'll figure this out soon, all right?
I know the sort of fatalism is not
You were just an
what
Axios moments ago in your experience, so
I've seen what thousands of engineers on a program looks like that can't be solved before. Telling me to trust hundreds to solve something that I'm scared of is not helpful.
right. You see the resource officer here will say, what would you prefer to go to your quarters at this point? Would you like to give an account of your experience to me here to disseminate in further detail to the rest of the ship?
Uh, I do think that resource officer probably feels Ven's nails dig into his fucking arm after those
Or
questions.
the emergency response, yeah.
Yes. I am going to be in flight or fight for the foreseeable future. If you try to put me in one place or try to sedate me, it won't turn out well. I'll need to do something. So maybe reaccounting, but I would much rather be working on something.
Let's start with recounting so that we have all of our information in order, and we'll move from there.
I came on here in part to disprove 21.
I think a lot of us did. It's
A lot
just
of us weren't on the 20th.
it's just superstition. And we'll cut away from there and go back to Clanker. As you walk through the Gallant Entropy, footfall after footfall, everyone a potential spreading. You are eventually brought to the cells, the other side of the ship. You and this well-being officer put in different cells. You see there's another emergency response agent who will just sort of like be there to like protect in case anything happens, but also like talk to you. You see that there's this we'll say like tall elf woman. We'll sort of make a little bit of passive conversation with both of you. Roll your second luck check.
All right. 255.
So if you have mixed luck here, second mixed luck check in a row, that is bad luck for you. 2, 4, 4. As you sit there, how do you think Clanker is feeling? You probably have like on like a tablet with you to intake or like observe the information that's being passed around. So by the time you get here, like in a minute or so, Ven's like the pattern key is going to be sent around, which will also like provide you like great relief, right? It's like, oh, okay, it's if this needs to be applied in a pattern, like reverse pattern, easy peasy, like there we go. Don't need to worry. Maybe we can even save these people who are like unraveling. Yeah, how's Clanker feeling?
I think Clanker, he like kind of like going off the information that we like got from like Arthur talking about like the like how much time it took for was it name was Cameron, I think it was, to get infected or something, and how the infection hasn't popped up on his hand. I think he's kind of like starting to uh believe that he's fine, not even realizing that it's probably currently eating through his boot right now. He's just completely oblivious to that. He's just like, oh, okay, my hand hasn't turned, so I must be fine, but I understand why they're still putting me in this cell, so I'm okay with that. And I can just continue to work because I got my tablet here, and I'll just try to help out where I can.
Um, we'll hold on that. We'll come back to that in just a moment. Basil, can you also give me the luck check for picking up or for interacting with Arthur's photo?
So it did
It's
fall right there.
yeah. I'm taking this as an Andy choice to have it fall.
I liked it.
Um,
It sounds good.
Yeah,
I like spice.
yeah. It's
I also like how Arthur convinced them to do the right thing, but not locking him away,
mhm,
then ends up being a problem.
Yeah. I think this is me seeing whether I remember someone throwing the glove on the ground.
mhm. Yeah.
612.
612. Mixed luck. I think we'll count that as touching the picture, but not touching the point where it touched the part of the floor that's infected, because that's also like, not that we know, but that's also spreading, right? So you pictures dropped. You kind of like pick it up, look at it, and we'll hand it back to Arthur.
I'm gonna
And
put it in my pocket.
we'll continue this scene here. But yeah, so reminiscing about Actios and all the totally normal things that happen there.
Here you go.
I don't. My mom has the last picture of him. This one was someone said he had it when he died.
Yeah, my dad carried a photo of us as well.
I think honestly, Arthur is normally he would probably keep talking, but I think he's gonna not. I think he's gonna stop talking and just hug
Basil's
his
just
knees.
Mm.
You know,
Basil's just looking at this person who was high strung and be like, okay, so are they calm down now? But now they seem, but he's just assessing. See,
yeah,
yeah, he still hasn't seen what's happening. He just knows people don't like
Yeah.
touching shit right now.
Right.
yeah.
I think I'll sit down as well, but still across, so
Mhm.
I don't move any closer. Like Ven's gonna be back out soon, and then we'll see
They're
what
not listening
happens.
to her either.
I think they're talking to her right now, so I think they're once they see where she's at, they'll start listening.
I think he's just gonna shake his head.
Basil, as you're sitting down, and this floor is slowly spreading. Can you make another luck check? If we get another mixed luck, then we go into the bad place.
Well, I haven't failed one yet, so I thought I was still at low match.
Oh, are you? Mm.
No, I thought. Oh no, Basil was the one that owned the one that
Yeah.
passed.
Basil's our lucky rabbit.
Basil,
I'm
you're lucky
a
rabbit.
rabbit. I got the rabbit
Mhm.
foot.
Right. That's right. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
what?
go
Why
ahead.
was foot? Can I cut it off and take it?
Okay, well, 553.
553, 556. Good luck. So you're on a good luck streak, actually.
Yeah.
I think at this point, because Basil paid attention.
Basil's nervous rabbit instinct doesn't know. Subconsciously, he's staying away from something.
Well, I think this. You knew the glove fell. And I think it clues into Basil at this point. That's like, maybe, just in case, you should, continue on. And go back to your like quarters, or I think
Yeah,
the
yeah.
thing of like, it's let's start playing the odds if there's a problem
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
Arthur's sort of shutting down. I don't think I'm getting anywhere with him, so I
Yeah.
think I'll
Yeah.
just. Ven knows where I am. I can keep track of her movements and see when she's out.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. So as you kind of like leave, I think Arthur probably just like, sinking into himself. One of the emergency response officer or agent, will say, do you want to stay here? Do you maybe want to go back to your quarters?
Was the quarters closer to the containment area, or is this closer to the containment area?
Yeah, the quarters would be closer to the containment.
I think he just shakes his head and like pulls closer to himself.
Okay. The two of them will just kind of like look at each other, be like, yeah, I guess, good to be, maybe he'll open up and one of the other officers can come and speak to him, the well-being officers. Actually, sorry, we'll do one more thing. The tablet that the health and well-being officer inputted information into when he left the cell was not his own. Handed by another agent or assistant, which he then interacted with his right hand. We see that same agent somewhere else in the ship as the tablet is beginning to like malfunction. And we'll like look at someone beside them and be like, hey, like what do you think's going on with this? This is unusual. And we see the two of them like trying to figure it out. Ven will go through and take the however long it takes in detail. You know, this person will like listen both to try to like assess emotional states and feelings while also like intaking information. The magic person also will like write notes. Notably, you identified the order keeper, whatever the title was, as the source or the issue, but Arthur found something at the center of the pillar, which was it entirely separate entity.
Which means the Order Keeper was infected.
Mm-hmm. They will when you get to that point, or you know, once they've talked stuff through, the magic person will say, we'll bring that point up, and we'll say, where do we know where Arthur is? And one of the emergency response officers will sort of like radio to the other ones who are attending, which are right outside. At this point, like an hour or so has passed, or maybe 30 minutes to an hour. And Arthur, you are beginning to just get a little bit foggy. It's hard to focus.
Mhm.
You're just really confused right now. You're daydreaming about your dad, and missing your dad, and then you're here. Clanker, you also are beginning to get foggy. But I think you are smart enough and calm enough to realize what's happening to you. What do you want to do, or do you want to get a message out to anyone? Perhaps, I don't know, a really confusing Kenku clusterfuck of voices sent to Ven.
Yeah. Clanker will send a message to Ven. And it will be like, it's like hand fine, mind foggy, infected somehow, unclear how.
As that comes through, in the fog of your mind are the recollections of conversations with Sindri, which is most of your vocabulary. What slips through that Sindri says that Clanker doesn't realize he's saying?
I think it just kind of like, I think just like at the end, almost under his breath, there's just it's all going to shit.
The message that comes through from Clanker as they open the door to Arthur, the entire message comes through distorted in the way that Povolio's message was distorted, and about to the same extent that it sounded, and Cam's message came through distorted. So immediately it's like clocking as like the signal's decaying, and he's dying.
And I think Ven heard a lot of Sindri say it's all going to shit. Like that is there was a fucking catchphrase from Actios. Especially considering how often she came to him with a absolutely destroyed mechanical crab. And I think Ven just stops and then looks over at the others. Clanker's infected. He knows.
Um, the energy in the room will drain a little bit. As the door is already open. To bring Arthur in. One of the emergency response officers will sort of like grab him by the arm and hand on back and kind of help him stand. And we'll sort of like walk him into the room. The immediate vibe from Arthur is just like really dejected. Um, uh, the resource officer or the magic guy rather, Landon will look at Arthur and say, Arthur, you saw some kind of anomaly or being at the center of the pillar. Did it seem like do you know Demons of the Boundless from the Academy? Did it seem like one of those? As you hear that, Arthur, you're just so confused as to even like what's in front of you right now.
Yeah, I think he's blinking a lot. Um, he's confused. Uh, center. Cameron went into the center. Is Cameron okay?
In your log, you said that Cameron was compromised, and it sort of like I think everyone in this room is smart enough to like, oh oh compromise also on Arthur. How does Ven react?
Ven knew Fadron was highly skilled, but maybe not the best for battle. And she knew he probably wasn't going to make it at some level. And I think seeing Arthur like this, I think she is in a mental state where she feels like I remember crying for almost 5 years straight. I don't think I can cry right now. And I think she instead sees if she can grab on something else and looks over.
I think
Going to listen to me now?
I think Arthur is probably gonna. I think he's just gonna start saying stuff that like he remembered about the event or whatever. Like it was supposed to be easy. Um, you know,
I'll also say Arthur's also like occasionally probably going to slip into like a conversation he had with his mom 3 years ago, like that kind of
yeah,
stuff. Like it's the grip is loosening
yeah.
fast.
I think honestly, he slips into a conversation he had with Vin, or not Vin, Basil. just a second ago, and he pulls the photo out and like holds it up to no one, and he was like, "This was my father. Uh, he was an Actios within," and then he drops it as someone had grabbed it,
The
and you could probably see disinfected.
resource officer, basically like everyone on one half of the room closest to Arthur, or the magic guy will say, "You stay here. We're closing off this room." We'll point to Ven and one of the emergency response agents, and we'll say, "We should immediately leave."
Ben does just kind of look over at Arthur.
I think he maybe you almost see clarity in his eyes for a second, and he's just confused at why everyone's acting the way they're acting. It's like clarity enough to know that something's going on, but not enough to know why.
I'm sorry, I'm such a crap commander.
Onyx, we need to go.
You
And then
need to stay.
well, he's saying Onyx.
I know.
Yeah.
She still responds. You need to stay. And I think Ben does leave.
Um, the resource officer, being closer to Arthur, will stay. Kind of like the energy in the room like dips. Uh, uh, it's suddenly like the fear is like spreading quicker. And there's a little bit of that like, well, we just figured out the key, so it's gonna be fine. Like we've made progress, but there is just that feeling of like this room is a death trap. And I think he'll start trying to talk with Arthur, kind of in the way that you like talk to a dementia patient, right? Just kind of like not denying anything, like accepting, like yeah, and trying to figure anything out. As the other emergency response officers in the room are just kind of like still and like trying to
Yeah.
steel themselves.
Um, I think I have a log that Arthur can repeat. Um, just because. Why not? Uh, do I? Oh, why don't I delete them all? Oh, we have located the epicenter of the void magic area. Naga DRW 350432 entered the null magic area, and his artificial magic soul seems to have been released when the ruins were voided. And then he stops. And then he's like, the epicenter. And clarity maybe come back a bit if if needed.
Um, I actually think uh uh so Ven's already out of the room when that happens, walking in a different hallway. Communication is going fast across the ship of like we're going to start shutting down sections and getting people to move into sort of like more or less quarantine zones.
Mhm.
The resource officer will send a message uh, uh, to the magic person in engineering, and like enough, I'll say, for Ven to receive this, and we'll say, the epicenter. Do you think maybe this needs to be stopped at the epicenter inside the pillar? And the Leodrin or whatever his name was, beside Ven, well, you just see like this spark of like another key, like another part of this. I think as he's walking along with Ven, we'll kind of repeat that, and we'll say, "Do you think it makes sense? It could be a dual state, something spreading from the center, which needs to be shut off at the center. That's why maybe it's failing here."
Maybe there is something at the center that needs to be shut off. However, that center is the problem is, can we get to the center before we lose ourselves? There's no way to get in there without just being washed in whatever this is. We
He'll
don't have protections.
he'll say,
And we're on a ticking clock because we didn't contain this.
we have a lot of information. We are the MEF. We have
Don't stop saying that we're the MEF like it's a magic bullet. It's not. We are impressive. We are unlike anything else in this cosmos. We are fallible. And we can die. And we can lose entire ships. Do not forget that.
I'm going to begin to help with the engineers to run a program to bring something into the pillar. What do I want to say next? There's a thought that Jesse wants to communicate that's spicy, that I don't know if this guy would really say it to Ven. He'll say, how involved do you want to be from this point?
Very.
Do you want to go back into the pillar?
And Ven now has to consider Basil versus her own children. This was supposed to be easy. If we have something that will work, then yes, I'll do it. But it needs to work. Because if I'm not going home, it's going to be for a damn good reason.
It'll work. And both of you will walk to whatever stations you're supposed to be at. Clanker, as you begin to lose yourself, what are you thinking?
Did Clanker get the message about like the sequencing?
Yeah.
I would think Clanker would take that sequencing and try to like in the last like ditch effort and like back against the wall try to see if he can reverse it in order to like save himself and everyone else before he's gone forever.
Make a luck check. High stakes.
Four, four, five.
Shit.
Yeah, doubles is never a good thing.
Jesse rolls triples sometimes.
That's true.
3, 5, 6.
Shit.
There is a thing that if you were clear of mind, you would be able to apply, ironically so. That the way that your mind is being disordered, if you followed that pattern, you'd be able to emulate it. But because of the disordered mind, you're unable to. Give me one last luck check for a revelation.
Keep rolling doubles. 225.
225.
Lots of fives.
2, 3, 5. High stakes, but also we are past the point of no return. This is a thought that just occurs to yourself. There's one of two options here. Either this is an effect being produced. You would have heard the message being sent across about the epicenter. This is either an effect being produced, something and repeated across all these places, and so if you deactivate that, you stop the effect, and hopefully the spread, and hopefully everything can be reversed and recovered. Or this is something completely anomalous that's not supposed to be here. It's not of anything that exists or is supposed to exist, and is why everything is coming apart at its touch. Just as the clarity of the thought passes by, you see the tips of your fingers and your feet begin to unravel. Final thoughts?
Can I type with my beak?
I guess one more luck check.
Sure.
I do. Well, yeah, one more luck check.
One, two.
God damn it, Mike.
Your data pad is also unraveling. Everything is coming apart.
How many matches? I've been keeping track for stats.
One match.
Okay.
I think in his, like, as he starts to succumb, he can't, his limbs are unraveled. He can't get this revelation out, and as his pad is disintegrating in front of him, he's just trying frantically to get the message out, and to anyone looking, it just looks like he's bashing his head against the ground.
As you're bashing your head against the ground, unraveling, not disappearing, but changing form. You go from a humanoid shape to just a series of spirals. Arthur, as your body also begins to unravel in this room, everyone takes a step back in fear. What are Arthur's final thoughts as you also change?
I think the last lucid thoughts Arthur has are confusion. Again, like what is happening? And then I think his brain puts something together and he starts like screaming, freaking out, telling everyone to get out. Yeah.
As you begin to scream, your voice, although you don't realize as you're screaming, Your voice is distorted. It's not human sounding at all. And there's a genuine fear and unsettling at all the agents in the room, but also it's their responsibility to quarantine within this room, because they could also be on the way to what you're experiencing.
Yeah, we haven't tried killing ourselves like yet. I don't think that was like I know it's like that's stupid, but like Cameron changed. Naga was artificially magic
I
and so
think,
didn't have a
yeah,
chance.
you're
I
also,
think you're past that
yeah,
point.
you're past the point of clarity to have that idea as well. You're in a state of emotional distress that is being repeated and copied and repeated and unraveled and reordered.
Monstrously tell all the other people in the room to kill him.
I think he reverts to one of the conversations where he's talking about we're not going to make it out of here. And then he's like, my mom is not going to see me ever again.
As the dread settles in the room, Basil, can you make me a luck check?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna kill Basil.
Oh, 222.
222. Still low stakes. 234. Your
Oh my
group
god.
will not be one of the two groups that
Yeah, yeah.
goes
Am I
into the Pillar of Order.
one question I have is if I am keeping track of the positions of those like three people just to see if anything weird happens, I might glance. When they unravel, anything happen to their pad version of them? Like, do they disappear? Or does it just sort of remain
So
the same?
Clanker was not a deployed agent. So did not have the like undersuit like wristwatch tracker. Arthur had taken his off.
So I just have Ven.
It's just Ven, and Ven is then there's nothing strange about Ven
Yet.
yet.
Yeah. Then Ven will survive forever and then die at the last second.
Ven was built to be a final girl who fails that. Anyway.
But yeah, so the ship is like kind of quarantine goes across the ship. You're already in a place where you're sort of allowed to be. But like the vibe goes from like confused in the ship to quite intense. Like there's something very intense happening, and I think there's a thought. There's something bubbling, which is that like this is supposed to be a regular mission. But also there's the bad luck gem. The people who are being unraveled, they still have forms. They're still moving around. They're still acting as if they're a thing, right? So there's this hope that if we fix the problem, that we can bring all those people back, that we can reorder them. What are Basil's thoughts in this moment as you're not called into action and just sitting on the ship to see what is to happen next?
Yeah. Am I able to try or wait, I'm able to like comms to Ven or ask to try to comms to Ven?
You can comms to Ven, yeah.
As I hear the news of things escalating, I want to pick up on Ven. Also, I know she's not in the room anymore, so I'm just like, Ven, you out now? What is has the situation changed?
Clinker is infected and gone, and Arthur, if not already there, is on his way.
What about you? Are you fine? Am
I still seem to be okay. If you start feeling foggy, that's it starting.
I haven't felt anything yet.
You need to be very careful. Because if we don't make it back, your father is going to find some way out here, and then we'll find some way to murder me in horrible ways. That's a joke. Um,
I was gonna say Rowan doesn't have the training.
that man doesn't need the training. He'll do it out of sheer force of will.
What do you mean back? Are
I,
you getting off the ship?
if we find something, there's a possibility that going into the center, the epicenter of whatever this is, we could find a way to turn it off. And if we have a plan, then I would go with it. All of my last messages are recorded. The girls are never to get into the MEF. I think 2 generations repeating themselves is enough.
Don't say that yet.
I'm gonna do my best to get back to them, I am, but also if I go in there, I'm not coming out. Whoever goes in there, it's unless we find a miracle that brings people back from becoming spirals. I'm gonna work the problem. You do your best to also work the problem, but also we're probably gonna start issuing quarantines.
that do you think quarantine will work though?
We're on a ticking clock at this point. If we break quarantines, that will give us less time. But at this point, it's spreading and it's going to keep spreading until it gets to its endpoint. And we don't even know if it's malicious yet or not.
I'm in my room already now. I'll stay until
You're smart.
Mhm.
Use your instincts. I'm sorry you had to see me like this. I haven't been like this in years.
I see you being concerned but making decisions. And just like Clover told me you do.
I love you like I would a son.
I love you too. Make it back to me. I'll
I'll, I'll do my best. Work the problem where you're at. I'm going to keep doing it too. We might have found some keys.
I know some other people nearby. Maybe I'll check in on them to see if they start acting weird.
I think we
So,
probably won't be sending off messages just yet, but you already have yours recorded.
Mhm.
I'll talk with you soon.
Talk to you soon.
And I think somewhere while she's talking with Clover, she's pulled out a necklace that she wears underneath that has a small black mirror. Because I think at some point, especially with what happened to Rue, she does follow or at least venerates death, as well as a locket that has a picture of her 2 spouses and her twins. And she's just holding on to it. And she has a new wedding ring because since the other one got destroyed, and she kind of looks over at the officer that's with her. We need to be sure this is something that can be turned off, or if this is something that's like a mushroom that each thing can keep living despite the other dying. Either is a possibility.
He'll say, very, very casually, in a way that's trying to introduce a small amount of levity. They figured out how to uncook eggs before they figured out how to put these things together. I think whatever unraveling is happening here, we can re-ravel and reweave. That's what we'll be solving for.
I'm going to pray that you're right and I'm extremely wrong and washed up and need to retire after this mission.
He'll stop walking and look at you. Look at the little Actios marker that only so many people have. Kind of tap it and say, I think so. But while you're here, let's get this done.
Yep. I'm bad at sitting still. It's why I'm stuck here anyway.
Matthew, you are a clever little guy. What's a word? So these people are unraveling, they're reordering. Things are being reordered. What's another word to describe this sort of large scale reordering of things?
The words that pops to my mind. I'm just thinking rearranging.
Rearranging. It's Mike might know it. He might be putting it in the chat.
My brain went to
There's like a alchemy related
shuffling,
word that's
like shuffling
transfiguration
cards
or something that feels related to it.
This is a thing that happens. Is always happening. Decay. Reordering.
Resequencing.
It's a thing that happens, that's happening to the universe. The real world.
expansion.
I'm just thinking just entropy now. That's my mind.
Entropy.
Yeah, that's always yeah.
Fuck you.
I wouldn't have known that word from Adam, I'll be honest.
It's the entropic. Well, our universe is also just slowly moving into an entropic state of nothing.
He said the title.
Y'all are too smart.
It's almost like it was fucking fated. Bad luck, Gem.
Yeah.
Gallant entropy. How noble these people are as they try to avoid the inevitable.
Right there.
Folks,
It's in our eyes the
we'll
whole
close
time.
out the first session there.